Good news for stock investors, to be specific, if you are a Stanbic Bank stock investor, you own shares there. Because they just announced last week that if you're going to have their share, if you're going to own their share by 16th May, you are in their records, you're going to make 18 shillings and 9 cents for every share that you own. That's the final dividend. Last year, for the same financial year, which is 2024, they paid out the interim dividend, that is the first dividend, which was 1 shillings and 84 cents. So now you're being rewarded with 18.90 shillings. So if you are an investor who owned that stock by September last year when they were paying out that dividend, and this year by May 16th, you still own the stock, you're going to make 20 shillings and 74 cents, or you would have made rather 20 shillings and 74 cents for every stock that you owned at Stanbic. But for now, since you received that September payout, you're going to receive 18 shillings and 9 cents for every share that you're going to own, which is a good thing. It's quite interesting because this year, Stanbic paid an extra 5 shillings in terms of dividends than the previous year, that is in 2023. They made good money this year. That is in 2024, for the year ending 2024. And that's why if you look at the total dividend payout for 2024, it's 20 shillings and 74 cents. And last year, that is for 2023, they paid out 15 shillings and 35 cents. So there's that increase. And they've attributed that to the good money that they made in 2024. Their net earnings, to be specific, their profits. So you've taken out all the costs. So net profits increased by 13%. That's why this year you're going to get a better dividend payout. Assuming that you're a new investor and you would love to get this dividend payout, you can still buy that stock even if it's this month, that is in March, in April, and make sure that you buy that stock between, or rather before 16th May, because you're still going to get that dividend regardless as to when you're going to buy that stock, as long as you are on their books by then. Now, let's do the calculations in terms of how much you're going to make as dividends. Let's assume that you just have the minimum shares. You bought the minimum number of shares, which is 100 shares. If you bought, or if by 16th May you own 100 shares, you're going to make 18.9 times 100 shares, which is 1,890 shillings as dividends. Then you take away 5% of this dividend payout and you remain with 0.95, which is the actual money that is going to hit your bank account, or a check that you're going to receive, or the money that you're going to get in your M-Pesa account. That is just the minimum number of shares. What if you own 1,000 shares? You're just going to add a zero there, and it's now going to cost you, or rather you're going to make 18,900 shillings if you're going to buy this stock before 16th May. That's a good payout. Yeah, that's a good payout. Now let's take a look at how the stock has been behaving for the last 1 month. As you can see from this graph, that is a month prior to 7th March. We're talking about 8th Feb, exactly a month earlier on. The stock started out at 148 shillings and 50 cents. That is if you bought the stock, or if you sold the stock on 10th Feb, that was the price. You can see that the price has been going up for 1 month. This is just a graph for 1 month. The price has been going up just by the look of that curve. It's going up. The price went to 150. The price went to as high as 168.5 shillings on 6th March. This was the highest price recorded for the last 1 month. So you made a gain of 18 shillings. That is in case you are going to sell this share. The value of this share has gone up by 18 shillings. So you're holding a valuable stock. So you're going to make 18 shillings extra, sort of like a profit on every share that you have, because we have deducted all that. And assuming that your broker charges you 2.1%. 2.1% is the total of the brokerage fee and any statutory levy that you're supposed to pay. So when you total that up, it comes to 2.1%. The 2.1% is like a cost on the profits that you made, if you get it. So 2.1% of that is gone. That is 0.37 shillings, 0.378 shillings. So after the broker is going to take away their fee, in this case it's 2.1%, you're going to actually make 17.622 shillings as your capital gain in case you sell these shares. That is money that you've made. So assuming that you own 1,000 shares in Stanbic and you managed to sell these shares on Friday last week, you managed to sell 1,000 of them, you made 17,622 shillings after everything. This is money that hit your account. Now let's have a look at how the stock has been behaving for the last 1 year. I pulled up a graph for the last 1 year for Stanbic share, and you can see that last year on 11th March, last year, at around this time last year, the price was going for 120 shillings. Remember, it now goes for 166 shillings. So last year, if you bought this stock, if you bought or sold this stock, the price was 120 shillings. So in case you bought it at 120 shillings. You can see that from the graph, the price for this stock has been going up. It has been going up. In fact, the lowest low that it has been was on 22nd May 2024 when the price was 110 shillings. So from 120 shillings to 110 shillings, but that was the lowest low. The price went up again, and you can see that from the graph, the stock has been performing well. The value of that stock has been going up. Remember, this is a bank stock. Stanbic is a bank, and banks make money. Banks make good money in terms of the interest from loans and these other products that they have. You can see that as of 5th March 2025, that is last week, a year later, the value of the stock is 168 shillings. So from 120 shillings to 168 shillings a year later. So 168 minus 120, that is around 48 shillings. And the graph is going up. Before we make a conclusion that this is a good stock, we need to do one more final calculation. We need to find the relationship between the dividend that Stanbic is paying relative to the current price of the stock. So when you add up the total dividends that Stanbic has paid out for the financial year 2024, that is if you owned the stock for the whole of 2024 and you still hold the stock till to date, you would have made a total of 20.74 shillings as dividends. Remember the 18.9 shillings that they announced this or last week, and the 1.84 shillings that was announced last year in September. So when you total that, the total dividend payout from Stanbic was 20.74 shillings. And the current stock price, that is as of Friday last week, the price of the stock is 166.5 shillings. So when you divide that, you're going to come up with a ratio known as the dividend yield that is showing you the return in terms of dividend. So you divide 20.74 divided by 166.5 shillings, which is the value of the stock. The stock has a 12.45% dividend yield, which is a good percentage, which we can say it's a good performing stock. So when you're trying to compare stocks for different companies, you're trying to look at a stock that is paying out the best dividend, this is the percentage to look at. You look at the total dividend payout, you divide that with the price of the stock, the current price of the stock, and the one that has a higher percentage is the one that is paying out good dividends. Would you invest in this stock?